Hey guys, and welcome to There's a New Tank in the Store one way or another, so here's a new video. It's been a while. I do apologize for being AFK for a while. I will hopefully make a video to explain why, but this is not that video, so we're going to focus on the tank. Basically, what's coming to the store is the 268-4. Now, this tank is so similar to the 263 that I actually had a game in the 263 as well to basically compare it and to show you, which I don't usually do, but there is that. Also, Blitz stars isn't up to date with the stats on the 268-4, so I can't really trust them. So I've got in-game stats for you. Now, the thing is that the in-game stats are also basically mutated by the equipment that I run and the basically the crew skills. I can't remove that, so the stats that I will be reading to you are not completely vanilla, which is usually why I use Blitz stars for these kind of things, because I don't want them to be too affected by my account itself. So keep in mind that these stats, they are sort of like an estimate. They're not vanilla, so they're not like the raw data of the tank itself. I hope that that will get edited on BlitzStars or wherever in time, but for now it is wonky there, so you get them like this, because at least I can compare it to the 263 better. So both tanks have an HP of 1850, the armor is 260 in the front, 105 on the sides and 80 in the rear for the 268-4, where it is 250 in the front for the 263 with 100 on the side and 50 in the rear. The chances of fire when engine is hit is 12% on the -4, where it is 15% on the 263. Never knew that, never paid attention to that, but yeah. The view range is 262.5 for the 268-4, where it is 267 for the Object 263. The camo rating while stationary, that's a very big difference I've noticed, because on the -4, it is, while standing still, it is 24%. While moving, it is 23%, and when you shoot when you're standing still, it is 6%. For the 263, that is 47, 37, and 12%, so that is a huge difference. The damage per minute is also a big difference, because the damage per minute for the -4 is 2570, where it is 3387 for the 263. The reload is 16.11 for the -4, where it is 8.15 for the 263. The pen for the AP is 278, where it is 305 for the 263. Where the heat is 363 for the -4, but the APCR for the 263 is 346 pen. The alpha damage for AP is 690 for the -4, where it is 460 for the 263. And the aim time is 4.2 seconds for the -4, where it is 4 seconds for the 263. So all that is kind of different. The gun elevation is 15 degrees. The gun depression is 5 degrees, where it is 18 degrees for the 263 and 4 degrees depression for the 263. The gun turn limit is 10 degrees both sides for the 268-4, where it is 7 for the 263. Speed is 38 kilometers forwards, 20 backwards, where it is 55 for the 263 and 20 backwards. So backwards is basically the same thing. And overall, that's where I'm going to end the stats. Basically, the thing that you can note from this is that there's more armor on the 268-4. A lot more mobility on the 263. This is basically, the thing is, I was wondering when I was comparing the stats, it looked like the 263 was a lot better, and that had partly to do with the fact that BlitzStars hadn't updated yet. But then I just played this game just to see how it went, and it just had the same amount of troll armor, just basically performed the same troll way, just a lot more mobile, did less booms and everything, but it was fairly similar. The difference is just the mobility and the fact that this is troll in the in a square kind of way. Like this, I bounce shots left and right here, whereas the 268-4 is troll in a sort of rounded way, because the armor profile is just different. So they're very different tanks, and yet at the same time they are so similar. which I don't mind it. I like both of them, and I never expected that because I've honestly not driven the 263 much to basically get any sort of legit opinion on it. So I was very surprised at that because I only tested this out because of the Dash 4, and then I found out that I really like this tank as well. It is called the YOLO wagon for a reason, of course, and in that way it kind of suits me. But at the same time, the Dash 4 is also kind of a YOLO wagon. But it is more balanced than I thought it was because it just felt so strong and so troll. The thing is though, with the Dash 4, this is basically the 263 game, and it was just casually doing this amount of damage and getting a first class, and I was legit surprised at it, and I included it because the way that I played the Dash 4 and this is very similar, and you get very similar results. So in that way, I'm not entirely certain that the Dash 4 is worth gambling for. Because, as per always with a new tank, this tank will come in crates. I'm not sure if they're going to be money or gold, but I'm going to assume that it's going to be money, because the 752 was just a very rare occurrence that way. There's also been rumors about you not getting a token for this tank per crate, so that means that you could spend infinite amount of money on trying to get this tank and still not get it. So there is that as well, so just basically be careful out there, guys. Don't gamble. Gambling is bad, okay? Crates are bad. If you do insist on gambling, just make it a small gamble to try your luck and don't actually just spend tons of money on it. It's not worth that. Not when you have the 263 and they're so similar. It is very strong. And the reason that it's very strong is just like the armor profile works differently. I found that basically in the games, I either do 3k plus damage, which for me and for most players will be very well, or I do like 700 damage. And the difference is where I'm at and where the team is shooting me from. Because if they're straight ahead of you, and this is the prime example of pretty much that, this was my first game in the tank, and when I played this I wanted to text wargaming like, this is way too strong, you can't do this. Because it was just basically the way that it performed was just ridiculous. But yeah, if they face you head on and you're not over angled, because I can't stress that enough, I found that looking at the armor profile in Armor Inspector, a lot of it has to do with how you're looking at them. In this case I was over angled, so I didn't bounce it. But when you wiggle this tank, it can bounce so many shots, and because it does such a big boom, it can work wonders in especially like a hold down position if the enemy is straight up facing you. In this case, look at it, I have 74 HP left. That is a full health Kranwagen. Keep that in mind. I set him on fire, which definitely helps, but keep that in mind. 74 HP. This is one of those tanks that I will want it, but at the same time, having driven the 263, I'm very glad that I now know that they are so similar that I can happily drive the 263 as well instead of this. Knowing me, I will still try a little gamble, but that is me, and yeah, I like having all the tanks in my garage, so there is that. In this case, the Kranwagen tries to shoot my Cupola, but because I'm wiggling, he misses multiple times, and I take him out, and I still got 74 HP. So there is that as well. All in all, I find the tank very strong, especially when they're facing you head on. If they get behind you, you're doomed. It's not the 268 or the 704. It cannot turn around together with the mat that is trying to circle it and then still do good or anything like that. It's too sluggish and too slow for that. Overall, the mobility is not that bad though, so you have to keep that in mind as well. I'm just saying, mats can get behind you, and once they get behind you, you're doomed. So that's basically all. Overall, I really like the tank. I was very much surprised at it. I hate that it's in crate. I hate that it's coming mid-tournament season. I'm never a fan of tier 10s, especially in crates being released mid-tournament season. But yeah, that's my little review for the tank. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't gamble your wallet away. Basically, you need food and everything a lot more than this. So, thank you all for watching. That's it for now, and I'll be seeing you guys later. Bye bye!